Hi everybody. As we know, Rosh Hashanah just been over, and people asked me to give a profound explanation about Yom Kippur that is coming in a few days. So it's a very important preparation for us to understand exactly what's going on. So first I'm going to give you what we call the synopsis, the 5 minutes understanding of what happened. And then we can take it to the next level, more depth from Rabbi Isaac Luria, from the Zohar. I'm going to go step by step from the Zohar, so you will be able to benefit from all of it together. All right, I'm excited. I hope you're excited. So, basically, on Rosh Hashanah, what happened, we have a tikkun that we got to do. Those of you who follow the Zohar, follow the Ari, follow the Bible, on Wednesday, God created the sun and the moon. Now the moon, basically, was receiving something called light of wisdom, which is a very powerful light. But because there is no recipient in that moment, it can create destruction, and it will create destruction. Ze'er Anpin was receiving from Binah a light that called light of mercy, which bring mercy to the world, doesn't bring destruction. Our job on Rosh Hashanah was to combine those two lights, so we will be able to make sure that we're receiving that tremendous amount of light in a merciful way. What we did, we blow the shofar, the horn. When we blow the shofar, we create something called masach, the chirik, curtain. That curtain basically help us to combine the Malchut and Ze'er Anpin together by removing the Keter Chokhmah Binah of Malchut. And then there is no more judgments going on. And with that, we combine Ze'er Anpin, which means the light no longer comes from Binah to Malchut. It doesn't come from the mother where all the light comes from. It's coming through a channeler, through Ze'er Anpin, and then it's coming to Malchut. So it's coming with a filter. And there is, right now we are in what we call the 10 days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. So it's 10 days of cleansing that we're supposed to change. Now what happened in these 10 days that we are changing, in the end of the 10 days is Yom Kippur. Yes, Kippur or Kippurim. Malchut will earn it to go back to Binah and receive the light like it was before. That's why in many parts of the prayer, we are saying different things that we're not normally saying. Because Malchut already fixed itself. The Malchut represents the physicality, fixed itself, and it went to the highest level it can go. So Yom Kippur is almost a feeling of the end of the tikkun. So that's the basic idea. Now I'm going to go into the details. So the idea is, in Rosh Hashanah is more judgment, where in Yom Kippur there is more mercy. So the whole idea is that Yom Kippur has everything. So we got to be super excited once we understand it. Now I'm going to share with you a lot of information from different places in the Zohar, from different places Rabbi Isaac Luria. I will do my best to direct you what to do, how to do, why we do. And I'm sure in 1 hour I will not be able to cover everything. So please forgive me for that. And if you cannot forgive me, I understand. But these need to be studied for 8-9 hours maximum, maybe 5, and then we can cover it. But in 1 hour to maybe 2 hours, depends how long I'm going to do it, hopefully 90 minutes, we can cover pretty much a lot. And I promise that you will understand a lot from that. So I'm very excited, and it's time to start. I'm going to start from Rabbi Isaac Luria. And Rabbi Isaac Luria start from Shar HaKavanot, Chelek Bet, and it's talking about, it start like that, a very unique way to start. It start first of all, what we're doing on Yom Kippur. So let's say you want to know what we're doing. So basically we're fasting. That's the first thing we're doing. Fasting, because every day we pray. The only difference between Yom Kippur and let's say Shabbat, because we call it Shabbat Shabbaton, it's like Shabbat, but we are actually fasting. We don't eat, we don't drink, that's one thing. We don't wear leather shoes, no sexual relationship, no shower, no perfume, all right? So all those things that we are doing is happening on Yom Kippur, But of course, we have at the same time 5 types of prayer that we are connecting to. So all these need to be understood because there is a reason for everything. And once you understand the reason, it's so exciting. I will do my best to explain it. Good. So let's start. It's written in Masechet Brachot, in the Talmud in Brachot, whoever is eating and drinking Erev Yom Kippur, the day before Yom Kippur, it's considered like he's fasting for 48 hours. Now the fast is for 24 hours. Why is it written that if you eat and drink on the day before, it's considered like 48 hours? There is a reason for that, right? Rabbi Isaac Luria also telling us why we fasting, why is it considered 48 hours, what exactly happening in this time. So I'll bombard you with some question. And the idea is like that. First, what is food? What is food? What is drink? What is shower? What is perfume? What is wearing his shoes? What is sex? It say that all those things give us joy. What does that joy come from? That joy is coming from Ima Ila'a. Ima Ila'a means Bina. Okay? Now, Bina or Ima Ila'a is external and as internal. All right? And the idea that, as I said before in the beginning, Malchut is going up to Bina, it's going to very high level. And if you remember Rosh Hashanah, when I explained, in the beginning of Rosh Hashanah, Ze'er Anpin and Malchut, Ze'er Anpin meaning the male energy, the merciful energy, and Malchut, more the judgment energy, are back to back, like Adam and Eve were in the time of creation. So now, what are we doing the entire 10 days from Rosh Hashanah till Yom Kippur? We are sewing, we are cutting the back to back so we can separate the two entities, or Ze'er Anpin and Malchut, and then turn them around. That's what happening in Yom Kippur, we turn them around. So now, that's when Malchut is going up to be nice, going back like what it meant to be. So she's no longer, Malchut no longer receiving from the Ze'er Anpin, like it was in Rosh Hashanah. It will be receiving now directly from Bina. And she's going above Ze'er Anpin. And now, because she's going there is no longer food, there's no longer drink, there is no longer physicality. Because Malchut, where we live, everything is physical. But when Malchut is going above Ze'er Anpin to the level of Bina, then it's going to the Pnimiyut, to the internal. In the beginning, Malchut receiving everything Ze'er Anpin, so receiving from the external. But once Malchut is going to the next level, it's receiving from the internal. And that's why there is no mamashut, there is no real physicality, only food that coming through the prey. And for that reason, we are fasting, we don't drink, no sex, no perfume, because we don't need those things. We're going above those 5 things, or 6 if you include drink and food separately. And that's why only on Yom Kippur you're allowed to say after the Shema, Baruch Shem Kvod, which is normally a part that you don't say it loud. You only say it on Yom Kippur, because when you say the Shema, the first line is Ze'er Anpin, the second line is Malchut. But because Malchut has been corrected and going up to Bina, You can say it because Malchut now directly connecting to Binah. All right. So instead of the 5 things we don't do, we have 5 things which are 5 pray. Right? We have in the evening, then we have in the morning, then we have the Musaf, then we have the Mincha, then we have the Nila. Those are the 5 parts. Because if you take the word fast in Hebrew, you're going to get it to be the same gematria, the same numerological value as voice. What voice we're talking about is those voice of the prayer that we need to hear in the 5 prayer of Yom Kippur. So, why, when we eat, didn't answer that, and we drink a day before Yom Kippur, it's considered like you are fasting for 2 days. That's a little bit deep. Remember before I told you that we are sewing the back of Zeir Anpin and Malchut, and when we are cutting it, every day we cut something. Rosh Hashanah, we're cutting Keter and Chokhmah. Then the next day, Bina. I hope you know the Sfirot by now. In the day before Yom Kippur, we're cutting 2 levels. We're cutting Yesod and Malchut. Because Yom Kippur, it's already separate. So we must cut everything in the day before. We have to finish. Or sew every day before. And we are only can do that on the day before Yom Kippur in the chitzoniut, which means external. And that's why the person, if we're dealing with external, we have to eat, we have to drink. More you eat the day before Yom Kippur, more you drink the day before Yom Kippur, more power you can get from the energy, from the prayer, from the connection that you are making during Yom Kippur. So exciting. So excited. Unfortunately, most people don't know it. And the Ari said, if a person don't eat enough food this day, לא יתקן, כי מבחינתו. He cannot fix a lot. You have to eat the day before. Why? Because in Yom Kippur, you reveal the plimiyut of Binah. You reveal the internal part of Binah that you needed. But if you have no tools to work with, which coming from the day before, you cannot reveal all the light that you want to reveal. All right? So I hope that's clear. Again, this is the basic. We're going step by step to go deeper and deeper. All right? Now, let's get into more depth so we can understand how to deal with Yom Kippur, how to get more excited, you know. And I'm going to go into a little bit details. And after we do this detail, then we move to the Zohar. And you might find it repeat itself from different angles. You might find it jumping from subject to subject. But if you hear the first minutes that I spoke about, Rosh Hashanah, everything was back to back. Malchut was receiving Chokhmah. Zeir Anpin was receiving Chasadim. Chokhmah cannot be by itself because it will destroy the world. So we cut the Gimel Rishonot of Malchut. With the Shofar, we move it to Zeir Anpin, so it gave Chasadim with Chokhmah, so it balanced. And then after we cut the back-to-back of Zeir Anpin Malchut, now Malchut can go up to Binah and get the light directly, and that's what's happening on Yom Kippur. Let's go now into the depth of what exactly happening. So the Ari write like this, והנה ביום הכיפור, צריכה נוקבה דזר אנפין אחר שכבר נגמר לסירתה, לעלות עד עם העילה. In Yom Kippur, the Malchut of Zeir Anpin, the Malchut, what we call Malchut, okay? It's going up to Bina, going up to Ima, going up to the mother, the upper mother, to decorate itself in many decoration. And then she's taken from Ima, through the 5 things that we are not doing, we are receiving light. So by not drinking and eating, by not making love, by not taking the shower, by not putting perfume, and by not wearing a leather shoes, okay? We are receiving energy. Only on that day. Receiving energy. Why do we call this holiday Kippur? Ask Rabbi Chaim Vital. Because the word Kippur is Kavav and Par. Kavav, 26, mean the name of God. And Par, those of you who are deep in Kabbalah, is basically the concept of Mantzapach. What is Mantzapach? The 5 final Hebrew letters. Which mean what? Which mean Gvurot, judgment, okay? And we are receiving, by doing those 5 restrictions, those 5 things that we shouldn't be doing, we are receiving that light that we need. So why some people don't call it Yom Kippur? They call it Yom HaKippurim. Doesn't sound the same. Yom HaKippurim. And it's the reason we call it Kippurim, which is not singular, it's plural, because Malchut is going up to Binah, and you have 2 female energy, and that's why it's called Kippurim. And by the way, that energy is manifest only in the end of Yom Kippur, in Tfilat HaNe'ilah. Now let's understand that. What is exactly happening? So, you walk in to every place to pray for Yom Kippur. There is tradition, people usually wear white. Why white? Because in Yom Kippur, this is the time that people who pray the right way become like angels. And whoever connect to Yom Kippur become like an angelic at that time. But when is the most powerful part? The pray begin from the bottom. Meaning, the first pray is Malchut. Then it's going up, Zeir Anpin. Then it's going up to Binah in Musaf. Then it's going to Chokhmah in Mincha. And then it's going to Keter in the Ne'ilah. Ne'ilah is the part in the end. Usually everybody take a part of that. And why? Because it's a lot of singing and excitement. Why? Because in the Ne'ilah you can actually change everything. This is like your chance, but hopefully you invest in the entire time to do that. It says like that. כי הנה ביום הכיפורים עלתה רחל till the Musaf בכתר דאמא. And then זעיר אנפין וטפל אליה. What exactly happened? Tell us the Ari, because Malchut now go up to Binah, זעיר אנפין become not as important like it was in Rosh Hashanah, because Rosh Hashanah, the only way we can get energy was from זעיר אנפין. Because זעיר אנפין, say the Ari, didn't go up. והיא עלתה כל המדרגות ההם. The Malchut went to all the step, all the way up. And after the Mincha, and the Ne'ilah, שעלה זעיר אנפין עד מקום נוקבה והושבע לה. What happened after Mincha, in the Ne'ilah? What's so excited about Ne'ilah and Mincha? Now זעיר אנפין is going all the way to Malchut. So what happened? Normally, it's Binah, then זעיר אנפין, then Malchut. What happened in Yom Kippur? The bottom part going all the way up. And then זעיר אנפין is becoming below Malchut. But doing the Mincha and the Neilah, the Aaron Pin is also going up to the Malchut and Binah together. And what do we say usually in the Neilah? We saying Chatmenu, Chatmenu. Chatmenu means seal us, please, for life. Remember us for life. Only the Neilah. Why? It says that on Rosh Hashanah, there is 3 books that open. One for tzaddikim, right? One for Reshaim, Gmurim, one for totally wicked people, and one Benoniim, mediocre, like in between righteous. So what are you doing with the mediocre? It said the mediocre, the regular people, Nechtavim beRosh Hashanah. You write them for the book of life on Rosh Hashanah, but you don't seal them yet. You only seal them on Yom Kippur. And that's why on Rosh Hashanah we only say, write us for the book of life. We don't say, seal us for the book of life. When we come to the Neilah, the last prayer on Yom Kippur, we say, Chatmenu lechaim, seal us for life. Vechatom lechaim. And the idea, why in the Neilah? Because normally in Rosh Hashanah, you have writing you for the book of life, hopefully for all of us, in Yom Kippur, seal us for the book of life. And then after that, we have another chance. You remember that, right? We're going to talk about it a different time. We have something called Hosha'ana Rabbah. Hosha'ana Rabbah is basically the last day of Sukkot, which before the morning, around 2 a.m., we look at the shadow. And once we look at the shadow, we can tell you about what kind of life the person is going to have at that year. Those 2 times, the Neilah and Hosha'ana Rabbah, both have Chotam. Chotam means the sealing. You know, when you used to seal letters in the old days with wax, that's called Chotam. But Rosh Hashanah, again, we written for the book of life. But Neilah, you seal for the book of life. And on Hosha'ana Rabbah, you seal second time. Let's go deeper, as Rabbi Isaac Luria suggests. Rosh Hashanah, Uzman Din. It's a time of judgment. The entire world is being judged on Rosh Hashanah. Why? Because we have the Nesirah of the Dinim Achorei Aaron Pin. Because the Aaron Pin is back to back with Malchut, the male and the female are back to back. We take in the old judgment and we give it to the female. That's why everything is judgment during Rosh Hashanah. And we call the first day harsh judgment, or in Hebrew or Aramaic, dinakashya. And at that day, complete righteous people, we write them for the book of life. For sure, they're going for the book of life. Not the mediocre, not the people in between. Because the dinakashya. Dinakashya in the first day is, at that time, only the elite people can make it. Because you cannot just walk in and they look into every little thing you're doing and they find out that the Creator want to give you so much light, but because the person commit a little crime, a little sin, which means he want less than what the Creator want to give them, it cannot be judged on the first day, because the first day have a harsh judgment. On the Neilah of Yom Kippur, it's also time of judgment, but not harsh judgment. Not harsh judgment. And that's why they take the mediocre, the regular people, and they seal them for life. And on Hosha'ana Rabbah, the 7th day of Sukkot, then you seal them again. Ari said, not enough. Let's explain it even more. From Rosh Hashanah till Yom Kippur, we are doing Nesira. Remember, Nesira with N, like Nancy. Nesira means to cut, or to saw, or to separate. And when we are doing that separation, not separation sound a negative word, between we are separate the male and the female so they will be able to be face to face, because when they are back to back they cannot see each other, and that's what's happening on Rosh Hashanah. They are together, and every day from Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur we take another piece until they can separate. Yom Kippur they can be face to face. Sukkot they can basically what we call hug, and on Simchat Torah they become one. Now, again, I'm giving you all the Ari, and then we're going to jump into the Zohar. Now, what is exactly, why do we have to call it chotam, sealing? So the Ari said there is few reasons. One, from the word tchum. Tchum is a measurement of a distance to tell us, to give us a hint, that this is the end of Malchut. And the Chitzonim, the dark side, which normally allow to touch the Malchut, the physicality, cannot on Yom Kippur, not dark side. אינם יכולים להיכנס. They cannot go in. Also, second reason, say the Ari, is the word like chamot. Chamot means mother-in-law. How is mother-in-law has to do with this? It says Ima Ila'a, Bina. She is the mother of Zeir Anpin. And Zeir Anpin is the husband of Rachel, which is Malchut. So she is the mother-in-law. And what happened? She's invited Malchut to come to her house on Yom Kippur only. That's how it works with mother-in-law, right? And through that, she protecting him and her together in the Ne'ilah. Another reason, say Dari, Chotam is the same letter as Chomat. Chomat means wall. Wall. Like wall of the city. Like a wall that protecting a city. So there is no zarim, there is no negative energy that can come in and will do some damage. Now, when we understanding that everything is happening on Yom Kippur, and now I'm going to explain it in a language, hopefully, that we all can relate and understand it, before I'm going into the Zohar. So, let's understand it like that. There is judgment. You commit a crime, you did some sin, you did some negativity, and you need to change. Why? Because if you don't change, nothing changes. Most people busy changing their life. But the real goal is to change yourself, not your life. Most people be busy what car they're driving, what house they're having, if they're married to the soulmate or not. We need to be busy more with an understanding of when I change myself, my surrounding, first will look different. Second, I'm going to invite something else into my life. So when Rosh Hashanah is coming, you have to deal with all the wrong choices we made. And we did. Unfortunately, we made wrong choices. We did. Those limited mind, we did all kind of wrong choices. What do? The Creator, with His amazing, merciful way, give us a chance to go ahead and take a leadership and fix it. So what do? We go back to the roots of the negativity. Where does it come from? Why do you want to do negativity? Why do you want to commit a crime? Why do you want to do whatever you want to do? So there is two systems. One system called Malchut, the same way as God created the world on Wednesday. If you look at the creation on Wednesday, you will find out something, that the sun and the moon basically were created in the same time. They were equal in how important they are. The only difference, the moon, what we call in Kabbalah Malchut, was revealing something called light of wisdom. So if we're talking about Binah, which is the source of everything, Binah was giving light of wisdom to Malchut, and Binah was giving light of mercy to Ze'er Anpin. What does that mean? Light of wisdom, wherever it's revealed, creates destruction. It's a light that comes from above to below. Just a lot of light. The Kabbalists give it another code name. It's called darkness. Why is it called darkness? Because if you think about it, when it's night here, it's only because there is nothing to reflect the light. I go deeper with you. What is the sun? The sun reflecting the light of Binah. We think it's just flame and fire and volcano. Much deeper than that. The sun has capability to reveal the light of Binah. The moon, after whatever happened on Wednesday, when God said to Malchut, lower yourself, and from now on you're going to receive light from Ze'er Anpin, or if you want to go based on the story, from the sun. I'm talking about two terms here, so I don't want to confuse you. I mentioned Ze'er Anpin, the sun, Malchut, the moon, but we're using sun and the moon so everybody can understand it. But the truth of the matter is, I'm relating it to Malchut and Ze'er Anpin. Malchut, the female, received tremendous amount of light called light of wisdom, but if it will be, cannot be revealed when it's just go down, it burn and destroy everything. Ze'er Anpin revealed very small amount of light, which is called light of mercy, doesn't destroy. What do? We take Malchut, we clip the Gimel Rishonot, the Keter Chochmah Bina of Malchut, which all the negativity come from there, can you believe it? And all of our desire to do negativity also come from there, and all of our short circuit come from there. All the angel of death, Satan, and everything else come from there, because it's all darkness. And we say to Malchut, okay, from now on you can only receive light by combining yourself with Ze'er Anpin. How do we combine that? We are blowing the shofar on Rosh Hashanah. So we combine fire, water, by using a tool, almost like taking a pot and putting a water inside, and through that you can combine fire and water by having a hot water. That's what the shofar is doing for us. Fire, water. That's what happened on Rosh Hashanah. So this is happening for Rosh Hashanah, the first day. We take care by taking all the judgment, let Malchut deal with all the judgment, us living in Malchut level, dealing with all the judgment, and step by step after we clean ourselves, we are changing ourselves, not changing the world like many people think, changing me. Then, when I get to the day before Yom Kippur, right, We're doing something called kaparot. I'm not going to go to the details. We're eating a lot, we're drinking a lot the day before. And then come the fasting, not drinking, no sex, no shower, no perfume, no leather shoes. We do all those tikkunim together with the 5 pray against the 5 restriction. And why are we doing that? Because at that time, Malchut is no longer receiving from the Eranpin. Now Malchut is receiving directly from Binah. But how come? We say if it's receiving directly from Binah, cannot do it. Because it's dinim, it's judgment. It's where light of wisdom come from here. Yeah, aha. After we did those 10 days before the Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur, we fixed Malchut. We fixed the light of wisdom. Now we can actually tap into it. And once we tap into it, for 25 hours, we have ability to feel what does it feel in the end of the tikkun, when Messiah gonna come, when everything will be over. You can only feel it for that 24 hours, 5 hours. The question is, why it doesn't last? Because after that, after we fix Malchut, then everything is going back to normal. I shouldn't call it normal. When Zeir Anpin now giving the energy to Malchut after we cleanse Malchut from all the negativity that we accumulate there. Because every time that we receive for oneself alone, every time that we are acting selfish, we are we're dumping negativity into Malchut that we have to deal with it next Rosh Hashanah. And then we have the cycle again, Yom Kippur, and then on Yom Kippur, we are fixing, Malchut been fixed, it's going up to Binah. Wow, amazing feeling. We don't need food, we don't need drink, we don't need anything, because we're already there receiving from the Orot HaPnimim of Binah, from the internal energy of Binah. So it's an excited moment. It's feeling like the Messiah is here. Hopefully, it will be able to happen forever, not just for 25 hours. But this is the basic of what happened on Yom Kippur. And that's why we're supposed to be so excited. So excited. I know that many people worry about fasting and not drinking. We shouldn't be there. I understand that you should be worried about the food and the drink. But the truth of the matter is that what the soul is feeling at that 25 hours, it's exactly like the Garden of Eden. It's exactly like the Messiah. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. That's a basic. So hopefully you hear the first 2 minutes, you hear more the depth from Rabbi Isaac Luria, and then you heard the last 10 minutes that I spoke. And now we're jumping into the Zohar. All right? Now the Zohar is going in a certain order. It might feel like we're jumping. I will do my best, the best I can, to explain it in a way that will be good for all of you. All right. Berosh Hashanah, say the Zohar, we have an awakening that the Nukva, the female, is going back like it used to be in the 4th day of creation. Meaning, moon, sun and the moon. And God, Kadosh Baruch Hu, Kudsha Barichu, sitting on the chair, on the throne of judgment, and judge the world. And everything is judgment. That's what happened to Rosh Hashanah. And this is taking place till Yom Kippur, or Yom Kippurim, as the Zohar said. And on Yom Kippur, the dark side, Satan, not exist. Normally we said on Rosh Hashanah, Satan is for 48 hours really intense, so intense, looking for everything we did wrong. Why is not bothering us because we gave him that goat. I'm going to speak a lot about the goat, but if you want the basic story, and those days the high priest used to take the two goats, you can read about it in the Bible, and one goat, the Kohen, the high priest, will make a lottery. One goat will go with the Kohen as a sacrifice, and one goat will basically push from the mountain. Those of you are animal lover, I'm sorry. And it sounds like a very bad thing, but I cannot fully make you satisfied to be happy in this moment if you're animal lover. And because this is a profound technology, profound. And I know from the side it seems like we're killing animal here, but when a person starts having the depth and the understanding of what's going on here, of course it's not what we think it is. But still, if you look with your eyes from the Malchut level, it will look like the goat suffer because we basically push the goat down the mountain. And I'm not saving anything for you to make it sound better. It is whatever happened physically, but it's not what happened spiritually. So I cannot make you love the idea, and I'm sorry for that. Now, so the dark side is busy with that goat that come from the impure system. Why specifically goat? Because goat in Hebrew is called Ez. Ez is initial of Avodah Zarah, idol worshipping. And Ez means something with audacity. Somebody that has audacity. Third reason why goat, because goat spiritually, if you put goat and sheep and cow, normally the goat will go into the neighbor place to eat the grass and everything they have there without even feeling ashamed. That's what the Talmud teaches. So goat has azut, you know? Azut means strength or chutzpah or audacity. So that's what they use goat. And for that reason, when Satan is busy with that goat, he's not busy with separating Ze'er Anpin and Malchut. On Rosh Hashanah, Ze'er Anpin had to go with Binah and Malchut stay alone with all the judgment. That's why we were fighting so hard. But on Yom Kippur, Malchut going such a high level, and it's connected to Ze'er Anpin and to Binah in the same time, so powerful. But Satan will not disturbing it because he's busy with that goat. And that goat, very similar to what we're doing in Rosh Chodesh, tell us the Zohar. And he continue, when the Satan or the snake is busy with that goat. Now, what does that goat mean? What's the code? Remember that I teach you that in Rosh Hashanah, everything is a left column, so it's all dark. So now, the dark side of Satan is only care about the left column and the Gimel Rishonot of the left column, what we call Keter Chochmah Binah of Malchut. So the Satan is so busy with the goat that he doesn't want to persecute us or to find what's wrong. And Malchut, which went up to Binah, now speaking good about us. Like a mother on her children. And then the Creator now bless them and forgive them for whatever they did wrong. Sound like a good plan or a good manipulation. But again, it is profound technique of how we're making sure that our life will be good. Think about it, Malchut, never going above Ze'er Anpin to Binah, only at this time. Then, when there is a blessing, we are receiving the blessing till the end of Sukkot, what you call Shmini Atzeret. Why Shmini Atzeret? Atzeret means to stop, and the energy is stopped there so we can enjoy from that powerful energy. I'm continuing now. How can we understand it better? Asked the Zohar. And the Zohar said, I can share with you a story. It's like a king that get angry with his son. So he called the guard who usually make judgment to make sure to teach his son a lesson. The guard who loved judgment was happy to come. So he came to the house of the king to eat there. The son saw the guard. He said, oh my God, if the guard is here, my father is here, there is dinner, so it must be because my father, the king, is angry with me. What did he do? He went to his father and begged him to give him a second chance and to change. So his father, after he proved, they shake hands, they make contract that he will change. So the father said, you know what? I'm going to make a meal now and both of us are going to eat together. But make sure that the guard don't see two of us eating together, because I actually brought him to judge you and to take care of you. So they make it the meal. That's the beginning of Yom Kippur. The king, say the Zohar, said if the guard will know about the meal that I have with my son, it will create a lot of confusion on the table. It's not nice, because I already called him to judge my son. So he went to the chef, the king went to the chef, and say, whatever food we have, make sure you put it in front of the guard. So he will feel comfortable that he ate from my food. And he will not be busy with the food that I have with my son. And he will take his part and he will go away. And he will be so happy from the meal that he have with me. And tell us the Zohar, such a profound subject. If the king would not do that, then that negativity, that dark side, will never leave the house of the king. Same thing with us on Yom Kippur. God is telling us, I need 2 goats from you. One for me and one for the snitcher. It's not my words, it's the Zohar words. What is the snitcher? The dark side, the other side. Because if we give him to eat for my food and he doesn't know that I have another meal with my son, he will take his part and he will leave my house alone. Tell us the Zohar, when Binah, which is Olam Haba, which is upper mother, coming to be together with Malchut, there is a law that the snitcher, the dark side, not allowed to be there. Because Binah means Cherut. Cherut means freedom. Freedom from what? Freedom from death. Freedom from death means what? Freedom from ending. It will not be any type of ending. And then we can receive all the blessing. Now there's all going a little deeper. And I'm not sorry, I actually like it. It's repeating itself, but it's important repeating itself. So those of you who hear the video, make sure you hear this video 3 times. Again, Zohar said, Rosh Hashanah, everything is going back like it used to be before. Meaning that Malchut receiving light of wisdom, and it's create only destruction. And that destruction, that's what the dark side is connecting to. And because that dark side and Malchut is all judgment, there is persecuting to remove the right column. The right column is only mercy, it's Zeir Anpin. Then God said, blow the shofar. And when you blow the shofar, the Gimel Rishonot, the Keter Chokhmah Binah Malchut, will diminish. And then we're saving the world from judgment and from destruction. And after we remove that Keter Chokhmah Binah of left, and we are combine it with Zeir Anpin, there is a problem. The Keter Chokhmah Binah of the left becoming a chisaron, becoming a lack. Where is the dark side usually go to? It going to the place where there is empty space. Where become an empty space? In the left column, because we took off the Keter Chokhmah Binah. ועל כן צריכים לתיקון ב'. We need a second correction to remove the Samech Aleph from wherever there is lack. So it will be separate totally from the holiness. And that happened on Yom Kippur. Such a beautiful, beautiful. I would dance if I didn't have to do recording. So we go into the dark side and we give him a goat that we send to the desert. Tell us the Zohar, Yom Kippurim, Malchut עולה לבינה. Malchut going up to Binah. And everything is going back. The Gimel Rishonot, the Keter Chokhmah Binah of the small, going back. But it's going back in a different way. We're fixing it. On Rosh Hashanah, we function only with 7 Sfirot of Malchut, combine it with Chasadim of Zeir Anpin, with the Shofar, and now we're going to the next level of Tikkun, which we're fixing whatever we cut on Rosh Hashanah. And what are we doing? We infusion light even to that Keter Chokhmah Binah of Malchut, which was lacking. And by giving the goat to the dark side, the dark side now busy somewhere else. And through that, we are able to fulfill again light of wisdom to wherever it meant to be, and light of mercy wherever it need to be, and then we receive everything. And of course, the dark side, all where he gets his energy is from that Keter Chokhmah Binah of Malchut. So all what the dark side wanted, we bring back the light. So he doesn't bother us with this. And why are we using the goat in the desert? Desert is a place of destruction. That's where he is. He's in the desert. So like this, he leave the holiness. Why he leave the holiness? Because the dark side only need choser. Choser mean missing. Choser mean lack of something, something that empty. That's why when as a person commit a sin, first the dark side make you feel you're empty. Then the dark side makes sure that you fulfill that emptiness with the wrong thing. And then you have to clean it. So there is no longer place for the dark side to be there. And there is no fear from the judgment from the Keter Chokhmah Binah of the left. Because when we send the goat to the desert, and the dark side is not there, and Binah is giving out the light directly, so everything is combined. Binah, Malchut, Zeir Anpin, in that order. And now we have everybody is happy with that meal. Now we don't eat, we're not eating on Yom Kippur, but we're truly eating more than the physical food altogether. So there is so much blessing, so much happiness, and that's what we say, Lifnei Hashem titaharu. in front of God, you will be purified. Good. Now, more consciousness. Or that enough? I don't know. So much more. I'm looking for more things that will relate to our subject and make it simple for us. So in verse 252, Zohar Va'ikra, Sulam, Avashlai, it say the tshuva, the repentance, depends on if we're fixing ourselves. Because when those judgments being awake, a voice come out. The voice comes to wake up people to change. It's not the physical voice, of course. And the judgment has to go back to their place. Meaning the Gibel Rishonot. The Keter Choam Binah of the left. So, from Rosh Hashanah till Yom Kippur, all the harsh judgment of the left column being awake. Now, what does that mean? Every time that a person commits a crime, sin, negativity, the negativity is being awake. Now, we need to understand it. Light of wisdom is a light that comes, it's a strong light that's coming from above to below. And you need something to reflect it. If you have something to reflect it, you're able to receive it. But when a person commits a crime, what is a crime? Me, and myself. This is it. There's only one thing. All about me. So if it's all about me, then there's no reflection. Then the light is coming, it's crushing everything because I'm not able to reflect it. So you say, a judgment being awake in the world. Vimosim tshuva, person do repentance. The tshuva depends on tikkun, fixing, and tshuva, being sorry. So, if we don't do that, and we don't wake up the center column, Kavim Tzai, the Kavim Tzai, the center column, is what binds together the two forces, the Chasadim and Chokhmah, right column and left column. But if people still don't want to change, and they don't want to reveal center column, then the left column going back to control. If left column control, all the judgment being awake. In the time of Bet HaMikdash, the temple, what was the Bet HaMikdash? What was the Holy Temple in Jerusalem? What exactly it was? It was a structure that has the capability to balance the energy in the world. If a light coming down, it has the ability to balance, to reflect all the light back, so no judgment will be revealed. So it was powerful. But in our days, there is no Bet HaMikdash. So what left? We left with acting spiritual and doing the precept. And with that, acting spiritually or study spirituality and doing the precept, we are revealing enough curtain to reflect the light back. And the Zohar or Rav Ashlag is getting into deeper. There is 2 points in Malchut, 2 points in the physicality. One is called the point of Midat Adin, the attribute of judgment, that was not sweet in Binah, and there is Tzimtzum there is contraction there, and a curtain, so it will not receive the light. And second is when Malchut is being sweet to the Binah, and then it can receive all the light. That's what happened in Yom Kippur. If we're going to use the first point, the light will be removed right away, because there is tzimtzum, there is contraction, there is curtain. It will not allow the light to come in. Only the nekudah of midat harachamim megula, only that engine of the merciful attribute is revealed. And through that, Malchut is giving you all the good. But if the person commit a crime, אלא שחוטא, אז מתגלה נקודת מידת הדין שבמלכות. Then he's revealing the attribute of judgment that cannot be revealed. Because we say, in the time of creation, the tzimtzum take place. And when the tzimtzum, the contraction take place, we say no to the light. And when you say no to the light, you have a curtain. Now, in a moment the person wants to commit a crime, he doesn't say no. No to the light means no to my joy, no to my receiving force. But when you say, no, I want it now you're opening that curtain, and now it's coming down. When it's coming down, you're awakening all the judgment. And then the person is just falling and falling down. And the person becomes ra, evil, or wicked. What is ra, or wicked? What does that mean? It means that the person is now connecting to the first aspect of Malchut of Midat Adin, Malchut from the judgment attribute, and is now connected to the Malchut of Midat HaRachamim. The merciful Malchut is when you're capable to say no to what you want. Judgment Malchut, when you're no longer capable to say no, almost like a person who's been addicted to drugs and cannot say no anymore to the drugs. That's when a person falling down. But when a person is capable to say no, that's a gift by itself. So every time, say the Zohar, that we commit a crime, we are awakening that aspect of Malchut of judgment. And that aspect of Malchut of judgment is no light there. And when you reveal the no light area because you commit a crime, you're drawing emptiness, you're drawing judgment. So that's why God said, don't do that. So it's not about the sin that you shouldn't be doing it because of manners. It's because there is area in Malchut that if you touch it, you draw emptiness. So when a person fixes himself before Yom Kippur, he's need to fix whatever he did with that revelation. Which means in that revelation we revealed the emptiness of Malchut. Once we reveal the emptiness of Malchut, which is Keter Chokhmah Binah of Malchut, and no light can come into Malchut because of the Tzimtzum, because of the contraction, because of the restriction, because of the Masach. So the first thing, if we revealed that emptiness, we need to cover it. And then, once we cover it, Malchut can go up to Binah and we can fix it. And when Malchut going up to Binah, we call that Malchut Yom Kippurim. Now you know where the name comes from. And now, every time we commit a crime, we are revealing that lacking place of Malchut. But when we do tshuva, we are covering Malchut, or we covering the lacking part, and by covering and then giving the goat, Malchut can go up to Binah, can go to what happened before Wednesday, when Malchut was the same, but this time without judgment. Tremendous holiday. And then, because of that, Mitgale Atika Kadisha, Keter is revealing itself, and the light going back to Ze'er Anpin, and everything is perfect and everything is happy. And the blessing exists everywhere. And the mercy is ready to go. And the entire world is in happiness. Wow, this is so beautiful. I'm so excited. I'm going to reveal it to my community on Yom Kippur. That's why I'm putting. This is so, so beautiful. And it's I'm reading now from Zohar Achrei Mot, verse 110 from Rav Ashlag said, at those days after they revealed those secrets, everybody was so happy. So happy. And Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was the most happy ever. Rabbi Pinchas, his father-in-law, took his grandson, Rabbi Lazar, which is the son of Rabbi Shimon, and they didn't leave the house all day and all night. And he was so happy with him. And he said, I'm so glad, said Rabbi Pinchas, that I have a son-in-law and a grandson like you guys. And Rabbi Pinchas didn't want to let go of his grandson. So Rabbi Pinchas get out of his house with Rabbi Shimon and bless him. So beautiful. But to show you like how important was the Yom Kippur for the people who wrote the Zohar. So the Zohar said, I give you one day that you can purify yourself and you can feel my love, unconditional love that exists all the time, but Yom Kippur you can feel it. And at that day, even the angel of judgment cannot touch you. So beautiful. Just few more points. Going back to the Zohar about the goat, when the dark side see the goat, and the goat contain all the avonot, all the negativity, all the crime of the people, everything is on the head of the goat, because the priest, high priest Aaron, was putting his hand on the goat, and when he receive his portion, even the dark side, the angel of death and Satan, the snake, look what it say. He's going up to God and he speak very highly of us. And God see the persecutor speaking good about us. And God want to have mercy on the people. And he see the persecutor come and speak good. The people try to change. God want to have mercy on them. All the doors are open for mercy and wonderful. Because when a person commits a crime, say the Zohar, there is thousands of negative forces who's helping the person to commit that crime once he decides to do it. May God save us from that. But even that, God give a solution. So Rav Ashlag go deeper now, and that's what he's saying. When we talk about Tzimtzum Aleph, the first contraction, we call it Man'ula, the lock. When we put a lock on the door. What does that mean? It means after Tzimtzum, Malchut no longer allowed to receive light. Because Malchut say, I don't want to receive blessing, and then the light, no coercion with spirituality, cannot receive light. And there is curtain. So, God say that this doesn't work. So he took Malchut and put it up to the merciful attribute, which is Binah, to sweet the Malchut. And we call that aspect Maftacha. So the first aspect, Man'ula, lock, Maftacha. Man'ula is the Tzimtzum. Maftacha is when Malchut going up to Binah. And now it can receive light. But what happened to the Man'ula? What happened to the lock? It's hidden within Malchut. And that's why we call Malchut Etz Adat Tov V'Ra, tree of knowledge, good and bad. Which if you have the merit, it's good. If you don't have the merit, it's bad. Because the Man'ula, the lock that within there, is there, potentially. If you don't touch it, it doesn't touch you. But the Maftacha is what we want to connect to. If the person commit a crime, he's awakening the Man'ula. He's awakening that lock that he shouldn't be awake. Meaning, he shouldn't be awake that aspect of Tzimtzum Aleph, when we say no to the light, and there is no light, so there is emptiness, and then we connect to that emptiness. We don't want to do that. When a person is commit a crime, then we connect to the emptiness of Man'ula, and that's why the sinner died. But why is it like that? Why it cannot be just Maftucha after Maftucha was open, mean keys? היה ראוי שיבטל Man'ula. It would be a good idea if he cancel the whole idea of the lock. Why do we, every time we awake, we are doing something bad, we wake up the original part of Malchut. And like this, it will be no angel of death anymore. So say the Zohar or Rav Ashlag, we're not allowed to cancel it until the end of time, the end of the Tikkun. And the only time that we can feel exactly like the end of the Tikkun is only on Yom Kippur. Why? Because on Yom Kippur, when the dark side is no longer there, and we take in the Man'ula, which means locks, and we changing it, we make a transformation for only for 25 hours, and it's almost, say the Zohar or Avash, like we're throwing bones to the dogs, and like this, the dog on the dark side, leave us alone. And he doesn't reveal the Man'ula with all the crime that we did. When we busy with that bone, with that seir, with that goat. Why he doesn't want to reveal it? Because he know that if he will reveal the Man'ula, the Israelite can no longer give him the gift, it's called the goat. But why is that goat? Because every time we commit a crime, we're drawing light that coming from the left column of the Gimel Rishonot, of the Keder Chokhmah Binah. He wants only that. he doesn't want to lose those light. And he doesn't care that he will speak good about us. Yeah, they're good. Just give me the light that revealed the whole year. Oh, what a trick. And by that, we enter to the area where Manula is, where it's locked only on Yom Kippur, because there is no judgment. He's not there to persecute us. And through that, we are basically able on Yom Kippur to enter to that bank of all the goodness to change ourselves. So we're not entering the bank to change just the world, which is the result. We're entering to change ourselves. And that's the revelation here. Most people go to Yom Kippur to change the money situation, the health. No. We are going into Manula, into that place that is always locked for the whole year. Yom Kippur, enter, change everything. In the Nihila, be happy, because you change your entire life. I want to wish you a Shana Tova. I want to wish you a great life. And I want to wish you Chatima Tova. There's a lot of information in this video, so please listen carefully. Thank you, and have a happy new year.